You are a pepper grower who believes the hottest peppers are the best peppers, and your chance to prove it is here at the Scoville Chili Pepper Festival. The festival includes nail-biting pepper auctions, a huge farmers market, incredible prizes for growers who plant the fiercest peppers, and the world-famous Scoville Chili Cook-Off, where chefs try to scorch their way to victory with the wildest concoctions. The festival only lasts one day, and the grower that can generate the most heat will take home this year's trophy. Each game of Scoville consists of a variable number of rounds. Each round is made of these 5 phases: auction, planting, harvesting, fulfillment, and time check. In the auction phase, all players bid coins for choice of turn order. Then, in turn order, they claim auction cards. First, slide the discs off the turn order track up onto the faint circles above, preserving the turn order from the previous round. To bid, each player secretly selects any amount of their own coins and holds it in their hand. When all players are ready, everyone simultaneously reveals their bids. The player who bid the highest chooses their spot on the turn order track and moves their disc there, then the next highest bidder, and so on until everyone has chosen their spot. Players pay their bids into the bank as they go. In the new turn order, each player chooses one of the cards currently in the auction house. The player takes the peppers shown on the card from the supply and discards the card. After all players have chosen, draw new cards from the deck to refill the auction house. In the planting phase, all players must plant one pepper. To plant a pepper, the player selects any pepper from their own supply and places it in an empty plot of the pepper field. A player's pepper may only be planted in a plot that is horizontally or vertically adjacent to a plot that already has a pepper in it. A player may plant one extra pepper by using a certain bonus action tile. If a player plants a pepper for a color for which any award plaques still remain on City Hall, the player may collect the most valuable of those plaques. The plaques with a striped pepper on them refer to the planting of a purple or orange or green pepper. In the harvesting phase, each player, in reverse turn order, moves their farmer up to 3 steps along the plot paths, earning a pepper for each step ending between 2 planted plots. Farmers may move up to 3 steps, but must move at least 1 step. Farmers may not pass through nor stop on an opponent's farmer. A farmer may be pivoted at the start of a turn to start moving in any direction, but once it has begun movement, it may not be turned around to face the opposite direction. When a farmer steps between 2 planted plots, the farmer harvests a pepper. The player collects a pepper, or peppers, according to the breeding chart. When a farmer steps between 2 peppers, the player gets to crossbreed the peppers and collect the resulting peppers from the supply. To use the breeding chart, find one of the peppers in the left column of the chart, then follow its row across until it reaches the other pepper's column. The place where the row and column meet display the result of the crossbreed. Most combinations result in a single pepper for the player. Some combinations result in 2 peppers for the player. Some combinations result in an X on the chart, which means the player collects no pepper. In the fulfillment phase, all players, in turn order, may perform any or all of the following actions. The player may choose one market card available in the farmer's market display. The player pays the peppers shown on the wanted side of the card to the supply, and earns the rewards shown on the other side. The player keeps the market card behind his or her screen. The player may choose one recipe card available in the Chili Cook-Off display. The player pays the combination of peppers shown on the card to the supply, then keeps the recipe card behind his or her screen. The player may sell at most 5 of one color of held peppers to the supply. Each sold pepper earns $1 for every 2 of that color pepper currently planted in the pepper fields. If it's morning, first, count the number of recipe cards remaining at the Chili Cook-Off. Then, count the number of market cards remaining at the farmer's market. If there are at least as many cards remaining as there are players, then it is still the morning. Start a new round. If there are fewer cards than there are players, then the game progresses to afternoon. First, discard any remaining morning market cards from the farmer's market, then draw new market cards from the afternoon deck to refill the farmer's market to the same number that the game started with. Return the remainder of the afternoon market deck to the box. Second, return the morning auction deck to the box, but leave the auction cards currently in the auction house where they are. Start a new round. If there are fewer cards than there are players, then the afternoon is skipped, one more round is played, and the game ends after the fulfillment phase of that round. If it's afternoon, count the number of market cards remaining at the farmer's market, and the number of recipe cards remaining at the chili cook-off. If there are fewer cards than there are players in one of the two locations, then one more round is played and the game ends after the fulfillment phase of that round. If there are fewer cards than there are players in both of the two locations, then the game ends immediately with no final round played. Otherwise, simply start a new round. When the game ends, each player totals their own points. Points are earned in 5 different categories: points on market cards, points on recipe cards, points on award plaques, points on the back of unplayed bonus action tiles. Every $3 equals 1 point. The player with the greatest point total wins the game. In the event of a tie, the tied player with the most coins wins.